Everybody up? All right. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Thanks for coming. Jamie Angel, Chief Communications Officer. And I have a little bit of information to put out for you, and then the Mayor President will have his remarks. I'm going to clarify a few things as far as masks go. Again, the intent of the Hanes mask that we received, the donation of 100,000 masks we received from Hanes, the intent of that was to be distributed to Safe Shop businesses so that they could comply with the order to wear masks. Again, we are continuing to distribute those. We ask the general public not to call Lafayette Police Department for masks. They do not have the supply for masks to distribute. The masks are only available for those employees through LCG's 311 number. We are, however, gathering information from area organizations to find masks that are available for the general public. We'll have more information on that in the coming days. I think the Mayor President also has some information. Anyone who wants to make their own mask, a video post from Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams, it's on the Lafayette Consolidated Government Facebook page, shows you how you can do it at home, just a few easy steps. Again, employers and employees dial 311 between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., select option 2, and they will gather your information. You'll either pick up the mask the next day, or if it's Friday, you'll pick it up on Monday here at the LUS drive-thru. Reminder, the Robichaux Center food distribution will not be happening over the weekend. It'll continue Monday with meals starting to hand out meals around 10:45. That's the Robichaux Rec Center, 1919 Eras Landry Road. Big thank you again to Drew and Brittany Breeze and the Breeze Dream Foundation for continuing to provide those meals. And that's for anyone unemployed or whose hours have been reduced. They're underemployed because of this pandemic. Stop by and get a meal. And finally, LCG has been receiving emails and calls from citizens reporting businesses that should not be operating under the governor's order, and the concern is some of them indeed might be operating. And police officers in the sheriff's office are depending on your eyes and ears for this information. Thank you for reaching out. But if you do have a business that you think is acting out of the violation of the directive, please contact 911. With that, Mayor President Josh Guillory.
Thank you, Jim. And thank each of you for joining us today. Today we are reporting 440 cases of COVID-19 in Lafayette Parish, and that's since March 18th, 2020, on a base of 17,734 reported tests. We are now in our 7th day without reporting an additional fatality. I am pleased to share that out of the 26,000 reported cases in Louisiana, nearly 15,000 are recorded as having recovered. This is a very encouraging sign. We don't have recovery numbers on a parish-by-parish basis, but the statewide statistics are helpful in gauging where we are in our infection cycle. While we prepare to receive new guidance from the governor, probably on Monday, we are engaged in an internal process of evaluating the range of options we will be facing and the most responsible way to approach them. These are difficult decisions, and we don't take them lightly. We are committed to protecting the health and safety of our people as we work to determine the order and timing of our next steps. Effective tomorrow, Saturday, April 25th, the 3 public golf courses owned and operated by Lafayette Consolidated Government's Department of Parks and Recreation will reopen, subject to a series of social distancing and sanitation measures to ensure safe play. The Jay and Lionel Hebert Municipal Golf Course, Vauchamp, and the Wetlands will be available to golfers starting tomorrow. We have a personal commitment from our head golf professional to enforce best practice protocols, including extensive guidance from the Professional Golfers Association, the PGA. A designated golf course ranger will ride around the course every 2 hours, enforcing social distancing and other rules. Our protocols will include limiting cart use to 1 person per cart, whether rented or owned by the golfer, supervised golf cart sanitation after each use, limited access in and out of the clubhouse, and numerous additional measures. We are committed to ensuring that the reopening of these facilities takes place in a manner consistent with public health and safety. These steps towards reopening are being taken with the federal guidelines and the governor's current emergency declarations in mind. We expect to have additional announcements regarding our parish in the coming days as we finalize our best practices for each department of LCG in consultation with public health experts. We are also in communication with our legislative delegation and the governor's office to share input regarding possible options for the timing and process for reopening many of the remaining businesses who remain closed under the current emergency declarations from the state. With respect to the masks that have been donated by Haynes, yesterday I had suggested that our elderly citizens who need masks can contact the city halls in our municipalities. For clarification, please remember that the first priority for these masks is our safe shop businesses, as Jamie explained. And we're requiring these businesses to have employees wear masks, so we want to reserve those masks to those particular businesses. We want to make sure that these businesses have what they need. So please contact your city hall or LCG only if you can't afford or can't source masks yourself. You can also contact LEDA by calling 311 and press 2. I have assured our area mayors that LCG will provide an additional allotment of masks if the supply in any given municipality runs out. As always, please wear masks when you're in situations where social distancing isn't possible. Please wash your hands frequently and try not to touch your face. We have come a long way together, and our parish has been largely successful in limiting the spread of COVID-19. We are fortunate that we have received substantial compliance from our businesses and our citizens. Let's continue our diligence and vigilance this weekend as we prepare and plan for what comes next. And I ask you again, as we do every day, to please join me in prayer for those who have lost their lives both in our parish and outside of our parish. Please join me. All right. Any questions?
Have you received any response from the governor to the letter from you and the mayors yesterday?
Say that one more time,
Have
please.
you received any response from the governor's office regarding the letter you and the other mayors in Lafayette Parish sent?
So we haven't received the response from the governor yet. We're encouraged to continue communicating with his office, and I think that we'll continue to have good communications. Yes, sir.
We're seeing Iberia and St. Mary parishes implementing similar safe shop guidelines to the ones that you all put in place, I think, last week. Is that part of a coordinated conversation you all have been having with area parish presidents, or is that just seeing an example and following suit?
So yes, and I was encouraged to see other communities across Louisiana find ways to take care of their individuals, open up businesses in a safe manner. So each Monday and Thursday we participate on a call. I participate on a call with my fellow parish presidents and fellow mayors across Acadiana. And I think last call we had over 30 mayors and parish presidents, had some extensive conversations with Parish President Richard. President Richard in Iberia is also our chairman of Acadiana Planning Commission. President Cedars in St. Martin is our vice chair. They do a great job leading our Acadiana Planning Commission. Good communication between parish presidents and local mayors. It's on a almost on a day-to-day basis where we have multiple calls coming in from my colleagues, my fellow mayors across Louisiana. And it's, we talked yesterday and the day before about, a lot of these policies where the rubber hits the road is local government. And no one person, no one administration has all the answers. So it's comforting to me and other mayors to have these best practices shared so that we know that we can emulate what's doing good, what is positive in these respective communities, and maybe try to avoid some things that aren't as possible. So good communication. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Are y'all following up with businesses, with stores, to make sure they're following these guidelines?
Yes. Do we have Chief? So Chief Morgan, do you want to talk about enforcement at all? And also, ladies and gentlemen, we have Tom Cox with golfballs.com here. He's in our pro shop leaders here from our respective golf courses to answer any best practices as far as because other parishes, other cities and municipalities have opened up their public golf courses, and if there are best practices across the country, we want to mimic those and make sure that we roll out any measures that we have in a very safe manner. But Chief Morgan can talk to Claire's question in regards to enforcement.
So to answer that question, if we're following up, yes, we are. We actually have a detail of officers. Fortunately enough, right now, we have the use of additional officers or extra officers, to use right now. So yes, they are assigned to both sides of town. They will go visit businesses. They'll either give suggestions if they're not in compliance, or we'll try to help them get in compliance.
No, you're good. Thank you, Chief. I appreciate it. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
You mentioned you guys are having internal evaluations. I guess how you would envision rolling a phased-in kind of reopen. Can you give us an idea of what that might look like? Is it something you would be doing sector by sector? Where would we start?
Sure, and great question, talking about the different phases. As you see President Trump discussing the future and breaking out in each phases. You see the governor saying he's going to give us some further guidance here Monday, and then as the week next week progresses. I think that's the mindset of the president, the governor, myself, this administration. So I have to give our community. Where's Jamie? Our communications team. We have several members here. You guys are seeing it almost in real time, our decisions, and we try to be as transparent as we can, answer your questions, do our daily press briefings so that we can address issues as they come. So, Christian, as we make these decisions, you usually get them pretty close to real time. Any other questions of me? Andrew, what's your plans for the weekend? I'm just kidding. Okay. I figured I'd switch the roles and ask you questions.
Gotta buy groceries.
Okay, good. Safely, though. Safely, social distancing. Good. All right. Guys, oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I was at a local grocery store yesterday after I left here, and more than half the people weren't wearing masks. The employees were not wearing masks. They had a shield up at the counter, but there were no arrows, no markings to say stay 6 feet. I thought you said y'all had talked to them and they were all supposed to try to start doing that.
Sure. Did you report that?
No.
Okay. So you just waited to the press conference to tell me on live television? We'll talk offline. This is good, and I'm picking with Claire, obviously. But no, this is good, and I encourage everyone to call either 311 option 2 if you have a similar experience that Claire did, and we're all in this together. And sometimes it's as little as sending the fire department over there. We have a representative here, and just talking with the business owner and explaining safe shop guidelines and the importance of social distancing. But again, I think the intent behind Claire's question was good, and it's just a reminder that, look, the first line of defense and continuing to fight this invincible enemy that does exist, it starts with you and me. Let's continue to wash our hands. Let's stay vigilant. Try to avoid touching your face, social distancing. If you find yourself in a situation where you can't socially distance, and you have some of our reporters here today, wear your mask, cover your mask, protect yourself, but protect our community as well. As we're going to continue to progress in this fight, in this battle, you're going to continue to see leaders at the state level, the federal level, here locally, try and find ways to reopen our economy, trying to find ways to reopen our community, to get back to a quality of life, to some form of normalcy. But we're going to do that in a very, very safe and methodical way. But again, no measures we take, no citations we issue, no enforcement measures that we implement are as effective as you and I. As it starts with us. Wash your hands, socially distance, try to avoid touching your face, and exercise good judgment and common sense. I believe in the power of the people, and I know that's the people that give us these optimistic numbers. It's not the government. It's each one of us. So, any other questions of me? All right. That being said, I wish everyone a happy weekend. God bless you, and may God continue to bless our wonderful parish and country. Thank you.